65 KVEC.
All right, Craig, thank you. We are going to give our next guest all the time she needs on this Friday, November 5th, 2021. And the remaining time, we'll just get ready for the weekend and take your phone calls. We have talked a lot on this show about allegations, very severe allegations of corruption in this county. We've talked about FBI investigations. We've talked about Adam Hill. We've talked about Mayor Harmon. We have heard from a variety of voices. But there's one voice that has been missing in this KVEC conversation. And I think in many ways it's the most important voice because it belongs to the woman who originally broke the story, a woman who for several years has been trying to tell people that all was not well in this county. So that changes now, because it is my pleasure to welcome back to this broadcast Karen Veely, co-founder, publisher, star reporter for CalCoastNews.com, the investigative reporting website for the Central Coast. Karen, good afternoon. Karen, good afternoon. It's a conspiracy already. Karen, you with us?
Sorry about that. Thank you. It's great to be back on the show.
I give you that introduction. You're not even there. She had to take a phone call.
No, I was here. I hit
fine.
mute.
That's all right. Wow. All right. So let's start with the basic question. How do you feel? Do you feel vindicated because of what happened with the FBI and Supervisor Hill?
No, I don't feel completely vindicated.
Okay.
But I will. I think this is just the beginning. These investigations into corruption are going to continue to unfold on CalCoast News and throughout the community.
So why don't you feel vindicated? You were telling us all along that this was going to happen, and half the people didn't believe you.
And I'm because I don't think it is. I don't think it's done yet. I don't think the truth is out. I think the investigations are ongoing. I think there's quite a bit more to come. Yes, I am partially vindicated, but I believe much more has to happen for me to be completely vindicated.
So why, and I know some of this is going to call for speculation on your part, but why is it taking so long in between these major stories? I mean, we have Helios Dayspring, the cannabis guy, and Supervisor Adam Hill, and that all comes out, and then nothing. What's going on?
I think partly people are waiting for the investigation. When the FBI announced the plea agreement with Helios Dayspring, I think it was stunning. This is a man that in 3 years' time didn't pay more than $20 million in owed taxes. And they are telling him, if you pay us $3.5 million back in your taxes, I think it's around $500,000 in fines, and tell us the truth about everybody, we are going to give you a short time in jail and only that fine. I think that says there's a lot more to come.
Do you think there's more to come about Supervisor Hill?
I think yes. I think that things will come out, involvement in other issues in the county, possibly with developers, possibly with the airport land use. I believe this is not just going to be about cannabis.
All right. How long have you known about all this, Karen?
I started learning about this back in 2012. And that was the time that Adam Hill threatened me, if you continue to do this, I'm going to destroy you. And it became a battle to put out the news with him saying she's lying and some people believing him.
Mayor Harmon is no longer the mayor of San Luis Obispo. She's been telling people that she took a job in Santa Cruz. She's going to continue to work here at home. Why did the mayor of San Luis Obispo abruptly quit?
I do not know. I know that she said it was because of her son calling her in the middle of the night and telling her he was worried about climate change. But when she spoke and she announced that she was leaving, she looked fragile. She was trying not to cry. She was tearing up, and she looked afraid. That didn't look to me to be someone that was excited to be stepping down from the mayor role.
I've jotted down some names on a legal pad. I've got Nick Andre, Corey Black, Heidi Harmon, Quinn Brady. There seems to be a connection between these four people.
Yes. Heidi Harmon and Quinn Brady have been very close in the past. I think that during COVID, it appeared that Heidi went and stayed with Quinn out in Los Osos for months on end. Nick Andre came to town to support Adam Hill and also began promoting the cannabis. He also began completely working for Helios Dayspring. Corey Black was very involved. My reporting shows Corey Black was very involved in setting up the different connections between public officials and people in the marijuana industry that might have been willing to pay to play.
So, and Quinn Brady, does she now work for one of the cannabis companies?
I believe that yes. She does outreach for Megan's Organics.
Right. And she's important because not only was she an advisor to the former mayor, she was also the mayor's campaign manager at one point.
Yes.
And so now she's working for cannabis. Nick Andre did political consulting. Now he's working for cannabis. Corey Black did political consulting and may still do it, and now he's involved on the cannabis circuit. My point being, Karen, is that there seems to be a pattern here of people in positions of influence, gatekeepers, and what do they have in common? They all end up working in the local cannabis industry, somehow connected to San Luis Obispo.
Yes, there was a group of people that came in and pretty much pushed out the moderate Democrats. Heidi Harmon and Nick Andre started the slow progressives. And then Nick Andre took a point of being the head of the Democratic Central Committee. And while I do not think this is a political issue, there was a group of people heavily involved in relationships with questionable cannabis business owners who became leaders in the Democratic Party in this county.
Several Democrats are trying to explain away the Adam Hill situation as unfortunate but an isolated case, meaning he's the only one that would have been under investigation by the FBI, and the $32,000 bribe, whatever it was a one-time thing. Do you believe that this was an isolated event, Karen?